let's now go after Emily for her final 2 races. However, what we are also going to do in this segment is unlock the London City Champ. And I have decided that is what I'm going to do here. So basically speedrunned my way. So basically what I did was, I did a speed run through the game, basically starting from scratch again. I did have an original attempt of recording this, but ultimately, because the video file decided for whatever reason not to register, I'm basically out here again. Okay, I think the bus drivers are basically just assholes. Because even when I'm turning away from him, he still has to turn into me somehow. Even though I was turning away from him, he basically just turned into me instead. How that works, I don't know. But whatever way he does it, it's definitely not a kindred way. In my opinion. Hello, Emily. How you doing tonight, girl? You up for a race tonight? I hope you are.
Try to keep up, there's a brick.
Well, as long as you don't completely throw me off guard, then I may be able to keep up with you. Which at the moment is proving to be difficult, because you're just throwing me everywhere. By the way, I also forgot to mention, but the Phoenix ICX is the first third car in the game to not have nitrous. And I'm going to assume that must have been given to the previous Phoenix. The DDX, is it called? I think that's what it's called. Anyways. So, yeah. So we do have nitrous in this thing now. And basically what that means is I will also have a better shot of keeping up with the AI. Hopefully. So basically, what happened was, the original video file did not register. I decided to basically delete that profile, start over again, and quite surprisingly, it's taken me less than 2 days to get all the way back up to this point. Probably because everything in this game is now second nature to me, basically. Emily, what are you doing? Oh, she's coming back. Okay. And she's not taking the shortcut. Okay, so just gotta keep up with her somehow, and my TV does really not like the frame drops I'm currently having here. Well, I suppose they could be worse. You're going to go home crying to mummy after this one. Again, as I said before, it's going to take a lot more than just a few punitive insults to make someone like me cry. I have got all my frames back again. FYI. And this is basically just 2 long drag strips. Essentially. Hopefully this won't take too long. We shall wait and see.
Excuse me, boys, but I'm going to win.
And we are starting right outside the Millennium Dome. Which, by the way, is a landmark I have seen in London a few times before. And as I said before, I was in London more recently for a Star Wars convention that happened in the town of Axel. But I did see the Millennium Dome whilst I was over there. Just so you know. So yeah, you know, there is that. That's
Well,
really
you
not
are a
helpful.
surprise.
Well, even though I was hard on the
Hold on a
brakes,
tick.
I still had to somehow overshoot the corner. Or the junction. Because we're out on the streets.
Bye.
Emily, you're not even leading this thing. What gives you the right to brag? I think I know what it is I need to do now. After doing this previously, I just need to make sure the game doesn't catch me out physics-wise. So, thankfully the glitch in that one part of the A40 does not catch me out this time. And now I just have to hope everything goes in my favour. Hopefully, anyway. As I've already used up all my nitrous, and am I going to make it to the line? Doesn't look like I'm going to break the 160 mark.
I see. Slow and steady wins the race in your
And
case.
156 top speed, and there we
Wait
go.
till Darren gets his hands on you.
I win this race on my first attempt ahead of Emily. You need to look up Darren. He's a little rough around the edges, but he's a superb driver. He's the city champion. You can find him out about town. That I will. I also wonder if the results screen is going to load up after this. I just want to check to be sure. I'm going to give it a few seconds. Even though I probably shouldn't. But you know. Okay, it does. And, oh, we had a DNF. Homeboy 4 damaged out in the end of that one. I'm going to assume that must have been because the glitch caught him out. But anyways, yeah. So I win by 4 seconds over Emily. Then Homeboy 1 was 3rd, followed by Homeboy 3. Homeboy 2 was in 5th. And Homeboy 4 damaged out before he could make it to the line. So it does prove DNFs do exist in this game. I'm also very glad to say I won that on my first try, which I did not think was going to happen. But I guess it's because I made way less mistakes than I did previously. Nope, I don't want to do that. I almost made a critical mistake there. I'm gonna just go back to cruise for some action and don't change cars, and hopefully this should not activate the game breaking glitch, because I really don't want that to happen again. Even though I'm pretty sure I may have to consider starting this whole game again because I went onto the cell phone screen. Well, we'll just wait and see. Is there going to be a cutscene? I hope to God there is.
Darren Thurrock, fastest man in London.
Okay, it did not affect my chances of getting the cutscene that time, mercifully. Anyways, we've now got Darren Thurrock on the streets, and what that now means is we need to race Emily Morton one more time, and then we can go after Darren. And in the process, we'll also go after the world champion as well. Spoiler alert.
Darling, you really think you've got an earthly in that?
I think I do. Plus the other reason I think I have a chance is because this thing is in pink. I also don't anticipate myself breaking any speed records here. But anyway, let's just get through this, and then we can focus on Darren.
Look, can we hurry up with this? You're not going to be much fun.
And away we go, in our final head-to-head race with Emily, as well as also being the last head-to-head race of the game before we do our last two races of the career mode. And I have been thinking about how I'm going to do it as well. Okay, so thankfully no critical mistakes there at the moment, and taking this way because this seems to be the fastest route, and going straight through here, and now I need to find out where to go next, I think. And Emily has taken the shortcut, but it doesn't matter because I'm already ahead of her. I'm pretty sure I'm going to win this first try, and yes I do.
Oh, you rat.
And I beat her in the end by 6 seconds. I also set a 1 minute 3.66. I think if there was one more 6 there, I would have had the devil's number. Even though it sucks to say I did hit a number of people in the process, who apparently were still dying there in that instance. But whatever. Getting a replay, because I can. Also because I've got to for clickbait purposes. And to be completely honest, that head-to-head was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. If you want my personal opinion. As in spite of my poor navigation skills, I still somehow beat Emily in the end by 6 seconds. So I guess it's just a sense of looking at, well, poor navigation in comparison to terrible navigation. Which I think is basically what Emily had. Either that or she just couldn't stay in control of her car. But yeah, TLDR is... that last head-to-head was an easy one. And now I'm going to change cars. And ultimately, doing those two races, they only took me about 12.5 minutes, I think. Well, anyways, switching over to Emily's final car now, the Ascent 470DS. This is also the car that we're going to use for the London Championship. So, good top speed, excellent acceleration, poor handling, and average durability from what I can see. That's about the best comparison I can really give. Yeah, I can drive this thing in white. Even though it doesn't really make that much of a difference. But yeah, I'm gonna drive this thing in white because I want to. Also because up to this point I have not driven any cars in London in white yet. So you know, there is that. Anyways, let's now just wait for the main screen to load up, and then we can check and see if we've done everything. I'm pretty sure we have, but I'm going to check to be sure. So Darren is all the way down there, down south from where I am. He's obviously on the A40. Don't think I'm going to catch him until the next segment, but anyways. Just going to call up Emily again just to make sure she's done.
I just can't risk my little car against that horrible thing again.
And that pretty much clarifies we have beaten all of them. So there we go. All 3 of the hookmen have now been defeated, and all that's left for us to do now is to go after Darren. And with that, stay tuned for more of Midnight Club.